Hi, I'm Chris Axelrad. I'm the director and founder of the Axelrad Clinic. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about what the Axelrad Clinic's all about. What was the vision that I had 10 years ago when I started the clinic, and how that's evolved up to the present day to make Axelrad Clinic what it is. I come from a family of medical doctors, MDs. My father is an MD, my brother is an MD, my uncle is an MD, my other uncle who passed several years back was also an MD. I've been surrounded by medicine my whole life, and I was kind of the rebel in that, growing up, I didn't really want to do medicine, or I thought I didn't want to do medicine, and I went into actually music. And my first major in college was jazz performance. I went to North Texas University, or what's now called the University of North Texas, to study jazz. And it was from there that I started to, and it was while I was there, that I started to explore a lot of things on the spiritual level that I hadn't really looked at before. I started to get into yoga and meditation. I started to really learn different awareness methods at the time to try to enhance my playing, try to enhance my musical ability and my discipline with that. But over time, I really started to become more and more interested in the energetics and the meditation and all of that in and of itself. It was just something that became almost an obsession for me, to learn about how the mind worked and the different aspects of how the biology of our bodies is interacting with this energy that's all around us and within us. So really, as I became a professional musician later, and then even went into a career in software development, sort of by chance or by accident, I fell into a software career, became a self-trained software engineer, and that career lasted about 10 years. And actually paid for me to go to acupuncture school. But all of this time I was reading tons and tons of books on bioenergy and life force healing and different shamans and different types of paths of natural healing, herbal medicine and yoga. And that was my true heart. That's where my heart was. So in 1999, I just had this realization that, that was my path, that was my purpose on this planet. And so I started to really follow that, and went to acupuncture school because I wanted to have a path that was licensed and had some legitimacy, but also was based in this very foundational concept of natural healing, of in essence amplifying the natural force of our bodies so that they can heal themselves. That to me was something that just fascinated me, and so acupuncture and Chinese medicine was a natural fit for me. And when I finished school, I wanted to open an office that was sort of like the anti-doctor's office, not in the sense that I'm anti-doctors, because anyone who knows me will tell you that I'm very much pro-Western medicine in terms of what it can do. You and I probably wouldn't be, first of all, you wouldn't be sitting in that chair, probably, and I wouldn't be making this video if it wasn't for vaccinations and antibiotics, two of the greatest medical discoveries in recent history. And, Western medicine, conventional medicine, is absolutely a life-saving tool. The medications and surgeries and other interventions that can save your life, I'm all for that. So people are often surprised by that, because here I am, I practice natural medicine, but I think it's important to have a balance. We shouldn't go one way or the other 100%. Stay kind of in that balanced place where we can use the best of both. But anyway, so I wanted to create this office where people could come and kind of get the opposite experience of what they get at the doctor's office, which is, quick, and most of the time you don't see the doctor, and the nurse is doing everything, or the medical assistants are doing everything, and the doctor's looking at your blood work, and they're running all these labs, and then they kind of come up with this idea of what might be wrong with you and give you medicine and all of this. And really no one has sat with you. No one has gotten to know you. No one has spoken with you and and really use any type of human connection to try to really understand what's going on. And that's what Chinese medicine is so amazing at. Chinese medicine is a system of medicine developed before we had all of these scientific tools of measurement, these imaging tools and blood tests and all this. And so what we learn how to do as practitioners of Chinese medicine is to tune in with our intuitive human intelligence to another human intelligence. And we create this connection, we create this very real sort of energetic bubble, if you will, where both of us are there, and through that, you know, I can pick up so many things that are going on in your body. And you know, I don't really ever order lab tests, although I have in the past. But the reason I don't is because what I've found is that Chinese medicine, as a holistic system of medicine, pretty much already can describe what's going on inside the body just by listening to what's going on, what you're telling me, what's your story, and then looking and observing you, and then hearing about your diet, and all of these different things that come into play. I can pretty much know what systems are out of balance and what systems need help. And then we have the strategies of what's going to actually help your body to then become stronger, and we strengthen where things are weak, and we work on unblocking things that are blocked, and next thing you know, the body is healing itself, and healing itself at light speed. And so, you know, I can give you a case example from my clinic where, and I wrote about this just a little while ago, but you know, I had a relative that was ill. This was when I was practicing, probably 4 years into my practice, and I had a relative that was very ill and had some problems with their lungs, and you know, they were having breathing issues, and talking was very difficult. Every time they would talk, they would start coughing, so they could only talk at little bits at a time, and there was a lot of shortness of breath. And so, of course, this relative of mine went to all the best specialists in the medical center, and they did their best to try to help him. And but you know, they really couldn't come up with a definitive diagnosis. All they knew was that his lungs were not functioning well, his lungs were inflamed, and so they gave him steroid breathing treatments and oral steroids and things, which, as we know, have some pretty severe side effects. And he gained a bunch of weight, his blood pressure went through the roof, and he became pre-diabetic while he was taking these medicines. And his lungs were pretty well controlled, but of course he realized he couldn't keep going like this, and he went in for a lung function test one day, and the lung function was like in the 70 percentile, which is really, really low. And so that really scared him. So his wife called me and said, "Look, do you know of anything that can help this person?" And I said, "Absolutely." I took, there's a Chinese herb called cordyceps, and you know, I'll do a whole other video on just the amazing powers and properties of herbs and why herbs have such amazing healing power. But I took this one herb called cordyceps, which in Chinese medicine is legendary for strengthening the lungs and strengthening the kidneys or the adrenal glands. And I said, "Look, go to Whole Foods and buy this cordyceps extract, and I want you to tell him to take 2 pills twice a day until the bottle's finished, and then we're going to see what happens." Well, within 2 days, I'm not kidding, within 2 days, his breathing was almost completely normal, and he had stopped coughing. So he went back and did a repeat lung function test about a week later after he had started on the herbs, and the lung function test came back at 98%, which is pretty much normal. So, you know, that was not the first time I had seen that, but it was just a shining example of what this medicine can do. And that's what I offer you. You know, I offer you the chance to come in as a person, bring yourself to the clinic, and you will be heard, and you will be respected, and you will be treated with compassion and kindness, and you will be worked, but the clinician, like I'm a clinician and I have an associate, and maybe by the time you see this video, I might have more than one associate, but it's going to be a principle, and it is an enduring principle of my clinic, that we treat every person with compassion and absolute caring, like you are our family. And that's not just a slogan. That's the real deal. It is only through that connection, that heart-to-heart human connection, where we really care about you, that we can really get the kind of results that we want to get. Because this is a holistic system. We're not just looking at trying to find and micromanage everything that's going on. We're trying to treat you. We want to strengthen you. This unique blending of life force and biology that is you. And again, Chinese medicine has already figured all of that out, and it's an unbelievably accurate, effective, and powerful system for healing. So, that's what the Axelrad Clinic's based on. It's based on, deep caring for our patients and sincere effort to try to do everything we can to help you, using all natural methods that are time-tested and based on principles that have been in place for centuries, and making sure that we get results, and making sure we do that in a cost-effective way and in a safe way, and in a way that just really brings out the best in you. We want to inspire you, and we want to help you become more of your true self, to really express who you truly are. And that is really the essence of healing. Healing begins in the heart, and it goes out from there. And so that's our philosophy at Axelrad Clinic.